Springfield, Missouri, June 6, 1992. The night felt harmless. Graduation parties had just ended. Cars cruised slowly through quiet streets. The air was warm, heavy with that early summer calm when nothing bad is supposed to happen. For Susie Streeter, 19, and Stacy McCall, 18, it was a night of celebration. High school was over. Life was just beginning. They laughed, talked about the future, and eventually decided not to stay at the crowded party they'd planned on. Instead, they went somewhere safe. Home. Susie's house on Delmar Street was familiar, comfortable. Her mother, Cheryl Levitt, 47, was already there, waiting up as she often did. The porch light was on. Nothing seemed out of place. The girls went inside sometime after 2 a.m. And that's the last confirmed moment anyone saw them alive. By morning, something felt wrong. Friends arrived to pick up Susie and Stacy for a planned trip. The front door was unlocked. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Inside, everything looked normal. Beds slept in. Purses lined up neatly. Makeup wipes folded carefully. No signs of a struggle. No blood. No broken windows. But the women were gone. All three of them. Susie, Stacy, Cheryl. Vanished without a sound. The dog wandered freely through the house. The TV was off. The phone line had been cut. Cleanly. It was as if someone had entered calmly and left just as calmly, taking 3 people with them. Police were called, but critical hours slipped away. Friends cleaned the house before investigators arrived, wiping counters, washing cups, unknowingly erasing evidence. By the time the truth settled in, it was already too late. This wasn't a runaway. This wasn't an accident. This was an abduction. Springfield woke up to fear. 3 women had disappeared from a quiet neighborhood with no witnesses, no noise, and no trace. No bodies. No suspects. No answers. The case would become known as the Springfield Three, one of America's most chilling mysteries, not because of what was found, but because of what never was.
At first, police tried to believe it was something simple. Maybe the women left on their own. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe they'd return by morning. But hour after hour passed, and no one came back. Detectives walked through the house again, slower this time. The details were unsettling. Susie's purse sat in a row with Stacy's. Inside, wallets, keys, IDs, cash, untouched. No one leaves without those. Beds had been slept in. Makeup remover cloths were neatly folded. Clothes laid out for the next day. This wasn't a rushed escape. It looked like cooperation. Then there was the phone. The line had been cut. Not ripped out, not damaged accidentally. Cut, clean, and deliberate. Whoever did this didn't want interruptions, didn't want witnesses, didn't want a call for help. Neighbors reported nothing. No screams, no strange cars, no slammed doors in the night. The street had been silent. Too silent. Rumors began spreading fast. A mysterious green van, a strange man seen days earlier. Whispers of someone watching the house. None of it could be confirmed. Every lead dissolved into nothing.
Investigators faced a terrifying possibility. The women may have known the person who came to the door, someone they trusted enough to open it, someone calm enough to control 3 people without violence. And then came the question no one wanted to ask. What if the house wasn't the first crime scene? What if the real horror happened somewhere else? As days turned into weeks, Springfield held its breath. Posters went up, tips flooded in, psychics called police with visions, but nothing led to the women. Nothing led to the truth. The case wasn't getting closer. It was slipping away. And while the city searched for answers, one chilling fact became impossible to ignore. Whoever took the Springfield Three had vanished just as completely as they had. No mistakes, no evidence, no mercy. As weeks turned into months, the investigation began to fracture. Not because police stopped trying, but because there was nothing solid left to hold on to. Thousands of tips flooded in. Most led nowhere. Some contradicted each other. Others were too late, too vague, or too strange to verify. The case was drowning in noise. One man drew early attention, a known criminal with a violent past, someone who lived nearby, someone who had been questioned before. But there was no evidence, no witness, no physical link. He walked free. Another lead pointed to a drifter seen around Springfield at the time. He matched vague descriptions. He had a history that raised eyebrows. Police questioned him. Nothing stuck. Then there was the rumor that refused to die, the green van. Multiple people claimed to have seen it parked near the house. Some said it drove away late that night. But no license plate, no confirmed sighting, just a shape in the dark. Years passed. Technology improved. Methods changed. The case was reopened. Again and again. Each time, hope returned, briefly. Each time, it faded. Evidence that could have mattered was gone. The porch light bulb, unscrewed, never tested. The broken glass near the door, swept up by mistake. The answering machine message, erased by a relative before police heard it. Tiny details, huge consequences. Families were left with nothing but questions. No bodies, no funerals, no closure. Just birthdays that never came, just silence. The city of Springfield learned a painful lesson. Sometimes evil doesn't announce itself. It knocks politely. And somewhere, someone knew exactly what happened that night. They still do, but they've never spoken. With no answers, the vacuum filled itself. Theories began to grow where facts had failed. Some were whispered, others were spoken aloud. All of them carried the same weight: desperation. The first theory was the simplest. Someone the girls knew. Someone they trusted enough to open the door for in the middle of the night. There were no signs of forced entry, no shattered locks, no struggle loud enough to wake the neighborhood. Whatever happened began calmly, too calmly. Friends were questioned, ex-boyfriends, acquaintances. Every smile was re-examined, every alibi replayed. Nothing broke. Then came the darker theories. Organized crime. Springfield sat on quiet routes no one paid attention to, highways that led out of town in minutes, trafficking rings, opportunistic predators, a van, 3 women, a clean disappearance. It sounded impossible, and yet another theory cut deeper, that the women never left the house alive, that the bodies were hidden nearby, closer than anyone wanted to admit. Lakes were searched, fields were dug, basements investigated. Nothing. No blood, no trace. Just absence. The most haunting theory involved the answering machine, a broken message that no one ever heard. Some believe it contained a clue, a voice, a struggle. Others believe it was nothing at all, just background noise, erased by accident. A moment that could have changed everything, gone forever. As the years stretched on, witnesses' memories warped. Details shifted, times changed, faces blurred. Truth became unstable. Police kept the case open, but quietly. No press conferences, no breakthroughs, just boxes of files, and a question that never stopped echoing. How do 3 women vanish without leaving a single footprint behind? The house on Delmar Street didn't look dangerous. It looked ordinary. That was the worst part, because whatever happened there could have happened anywhere, to anyone. And somewhere beyond Springfield, someone carried the answers like a secret that grew heavier with every year. Years passed, but the silence never softened. It hardened, like concrete poured over unanswered questions. The house on Delmar Street was eventually sold. New families moved in. Life continued, awkwardly, cautiously. But Springfield never forgot, because no ending ever arrived. Birthdays came and went, graduations that never happened, careers never started, children never born. 3 lives frozen at the edge of possibility. The families waited, not for miracles, just for something. A name, a confession, a body. Anything that would allow grief to settle instead of endlessly circling. Tips still came in, years later, decades later. A voice remembered from a bar, a strange man seen near a van, a rumor overheard at a party long ago. Every lead reopened the wound, every dead end sealed it again. One fact never changed. Someone knows what happened. Not a theory, not speculation, a person or people. Someone opened that door in the early hours of June 7, 1992, and walked away carrying 3 lives with them. What haunts investigators most isn't the brutality, it's the precision. No chaos, no panic left behind, just a clean erasure. As if the night itself swallowed them whole. The case remains open, officially, but time is relentless. Witnesses age, memories decay, truth becomes fragile. And yet, the Springfield Three are still there, in posters, in podcasts, in quiet conversations that start with, "Do you remember that case?" Because unresolved stories don't fade, they linger. They demand to be remembered. Somewhere the answers still exist, buried in guilt, hidden in fear, or locked inside a silence that has lasted more than 30 years. Until that silence breaks, Springfield will always have one night it can never explain, and 3 women it can never bring home.